Now let's work on the spokes for the wheel, or for the hubcap, I should say. In fact, what we should do is rename this. Let's call it hubcap. And the trunk latch could go back in the car collection there. And I think what we should do first is just create one of these little spokes here, and then bring it over and try and get it to size, and then we can duplicate it and create the little X's and stuff. But I think first we just need to create one of those and see how it's looking. So let's come over here and let's hide the car and the reference in the hubcap. And then I'm going to bring the cursor back to the center of the grid with Shift S1. And let's go to the right orthographic view with the 3 key on the number pad, and let's begin with a path. So I'll press Shift A, curve, path, and well, we can't see it because there it is. So let's turn it in the y-axis, RY90. And then let's tab into edit mode, and let's just bring this up so it's about like this. Now, we need to get it to look kind of like this with bent ends and at an angle. So let's just hit R and turn it about like this. And then, well, we could bring these down. Let's just move in the Y and the X, or the Z, I should say, and bring this down like this. And then maybe let's take this and let's hit G and bring this down here like this. I'm just trying to get it kind of angled here. And then we could also just take another one and bring this down like this. So we're getting kind of a bend here. Let's see how it looks. So something like that. I can bring this down. Let's add, actually what I'll do is I'll just extrude this. Let's hit E and Z and bring that down like this. So if we take a look at this, let's tab into edit mode. Yeah, so we're beginning to get that bend. Let's delete this one here. How's that look? We could move any one of these in or out. So I'm just trying to get that turn there. That's pretty good. Then we can do that up here. So if we're going to do that again, let's hit E and Y and pull that over like this. Let's hit E and Z and pull that up like that. And do we need another one there? Probably E, Z. Let me move these out about like this. There we go, something like that. And now I'll bring these down and this one up, just so we have something about like that. All right, so let's now give it a tube-like structure. Let's select it and go back down to our object data properties here. And if we scroll way down to the bevel section, we can increase the depth here. Just click and drag, and oh, let's bring it out about like this maybe. Let's try that. Maybe a little bit thinner. And we can adjust this a little more once we get it into the hubcap area. So let's go ahead and do that. I will bring back the car, and we're going to have to bring this out a bit, scale it down quite a bit. I'll go back to that side view. Oh, let's bring back the hubcap here. I guess I can take that hubcap and just drag it into the car collection. That'll be good. Let's bring this over here. Scale it down quite a bit, and let's try and put this in place. So it looks like it goes inside here, right? I'm going to bring it back into here like that. Maybe just barely inside here like this. Well, let's bring it up here to begin with. Okay, so we have it about like that. It looks like we need to do some adjusting, and it also actually looks like we need to increase the center of this quite a bit. So let's do that. Let's just select this, tab into edit mode, and I'm just going to press the L key, and let's scale this up like this. I'm just looking at the distance between these two here, and it looks like we just needed to scale that up a bit. All right, so now we've got that. Let's bring this forward to about right here. And now we can adjust this so it fits a little bit better. I'll tab into edit mode and let's just grab these and I'll bring them up and I'll bring them back like that. Yeah, so we just need them to be, let's see how that looks. I might be able to just delete these actually. Let me try delete vertices. That kind of helps, I think. All right, so let's take these and move them up a bit. And these and move these like this. Although now that I took those out, I kind of lost that tight bend there that we see here. So maybe I'll just take this and right click and subdivide and then just select that. Let's bring it down. Yeah. Let's do that again. Right click, subdivide, grab that new one and bring it up. So yeah, we're just getting, those enable us to get just a little bit more of a sharp edge there. We could bring them forward, I guess, like this, and this one isn't too bad up here. I think that's pretty good. Let's go with that for now. I'm going to move the origin to the center of this object. I'm going to go to Object, Set Origin to Geometry. And then let's duplicate this and spin it or mirror it. So I'll press Shift-D, Enter, and then let's mirror this. We, of course, have our mirror modifier, but we can do that here directly as well. We can just press Control-M and then press the key for the axis we want to mirror in, which is the y-axis. I'll hit Y, and then hit Enter. And there we go. So now we've got a new one that's been mirrored over. We should probably get these so they aren't intersecting. So maybe if we took these and pulled these out like that, and maybe pulled these out just a bit like that, we could get those so they aren't quite intersecting like that, right? Yeah, that works okay. I think I want to bring these back a bit. And maybe we can take one of these on this one and pull them all back just a bit like that. Just so we have those crossing without intersecting. So now let's work on the smaller one up here. Let's take one of these. Maybe I'll just take this one, duplicate it, hit the X key, and let's move it back a bit. We could scale it down just a smidge like this and move it up like that. Let's see what we can do here. We kind of need it to be, well, more like that, I think. So now we could tab into edit mode and just take these and move them straight down and move that one straight up so they intersect with the hubcap. And then let's duplicate this once again. Let's do the same thing. Let me move this back a bit. So Shift-D, Enter, Control-M, Y, spin that, and there we go there. Now we don't want them to intersect either. I think I will take this one and move it back just a bit like that. And then we could take maybe these up here and move them forward just a bit like that. Okay, so we have our bigger and our smaller spokes. Now let's work on converting them to a mesh. Now I probably should have done this before I began duplicating, but we can go ahead and do it here. I think for the resolution preview and the bevel resolution, we need to bring these down. So I'm going to go to wireframe. I'm going to hit Z and go to wireframe. And you can see all of the polygons that we have in here, or that we will have in here once we convert them. And we don't need this many. So I'm going to take the resolution under the bevel section and take it down to 2. That's the resolution around the circumference. And then let's go up here under shape and let's take the resolution of this. I'll just drag it all the way down to 1 and then start bringing it up and seeing what we can live with here. So maybe 3. Let's try this. Yeah, I think that's fine. Can we take it down to 2? Well, it gets a little blocky there, so I'll take it up to 3. There we go. All right, so let's do the same thing here. 3, enter, and down to this resolution in 2. That's good. As I said, I should have done this before I began duplicating, but we can go through and do it like this. Go back up here. This was 3, right? And 3 here. So each one of these should be 3 and 2. If we hit Z and go to wireframe, we should be able to see that they're pretty much similar resolutions now. And they are. That's good. All right, let's hit Z, go back to solid mode. Now that we've got these the way we want them, let's convert them and join them together. So I'll take this one, and let's press Control J to join them. Let's hit F2 to give it a name. Let's call this spoke large. And then back here, this and this. Control J. Let's press F2 and we'll call this spoke small. All right. Now we have our 2 spokes. But from here, we've got to figure out how to create all of these around the outside of the hubcap. So in the next video, what we'll do is we will use the Array Modifier to fairly quickly create all the spokes all the way around.